Welcome to the Team Engagement Podcast, where leaders of teams share their insights. We discuss 6 questions in 9 minutes because leaders know how to be concise. We'll go ahead and jump right to it with our guest today. First question, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Sure. I'm Debasish Mishra, and I am the recently appointed Chief Technology Officer over at WNET, New York Public Media. That's my day gig. And then I also am the founder of a company called JobPack, which connects job seekers together so that they can have more job seeking success.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, question number 2, what's the best thing about working with a team?
You know, I think the best thing is really just the diversity that you get when you're working in a team. Everybody brings different strengths to the table, different knowledge, different perspectives. And it's really when you have the diversity of that perspective that you can really achieve, I think, quality outcomes. And that's certainly what I enjoy the most about being part of a team.
That's a great response. Question number 3, I hear from other leaders of teams that it can be a challenge to get team members engaged. Tell me your thoughts.
I honestly don't think it's that difficult. The way that I approach teams is that I like to think of it as an athletic team. And the reason is because if you think about coaches, the job of a coach is to get performance from their people. And that's what your role as a leader is as well. So if I put my coach hat on, what that means then is that I'm caring about each of my teammates and what motivates them, what are they good at, what are they not good at, and really just trying to figure out how do I help each one individually. And I think when you show care, that level of caring, I think that's what causes people to want to become engaged.
That's a great comment. I could not agree more. That individual approach is what has to happen in today's environment, especially with COVID going on, because there's a lot of diversity just within how people approach their jobs when they have to work from home. So I think that's a great comment. Thanks for sharing that. Question number 4, what other piece of advice do you have for leaders of teams?
So the other thing I think that's really important that a lot of organizations struggle with is transparency. For whatever reasons, leaders can find themselves in situations where they don't feel like they need to share information or explain things to folks. And that leaves people in a situation where they don't really understand why they're doing something. And not understanding why causes them to be a little bit less motivated to go put in effort. But even above that is to be able to make good decisions, absent the context. So I always strive for achieving a high level of transparency about as much as I can. And then, of course, there are some issues where I can't be transparent. And I'm just upfront with the team about what that is, right? Mm-hmm. But that level of transparency also helps to build trust. And trust is absolutely essential to having a good team.
Another great comment, because you're absolutely right. That trust, when you entrust someone with even somewhat sensitive information or just general information, that really does help. So I think that's another great comment. Question number 5, what other successful leaders of teams would you like to recognize that have had a positive influence in your life?
One of the best leaders I've worked for is a woman named Shala Ali, who I worked for when I was at Microsoft. She was a VP there, and she's now since moved on to Google. But Shala definitely demonstrated how much she cared about her people. So she made significant investments in her leadership teams to make sure that they had the right skills to be able to manage people and manage people effectively. But then she also did a number of things, whether it was fun things for morale or just even making fun of herself, that really demonstrated how much she cared about the people on her team as people and not just about the outcomes. So that really resonated for me and influenced, my approach to teams.
Well, thank you for recognizing her. She sounds like a fantastic individual. So thank you for recognizing her and her contributions to leadership in general. Well, last question. Tell us about your first job.
My first job, I was a paper boy for the Detroit News. It was a terrible job. I shouldn't say that. It was a great job, great first job. It was just that I was really bad at it because, obviously it required the discipline of delivering the newspaper every day. And, being, 11 or 12 years old, the fact that I had to do something every day was just, sometimes it could be a real drag.
I understand very well because I too was a paper boy in my youth, and I did it for 5 years. And the first few months it was fun because it was new and you're making money, and then it kind of hit that drudgery stage. And then towards the end, I kind of liked it because I had some time alone every day that I could just walk and throw the papers and do all that kind of good stuff. But I sympathize with what you went through. Well, Debasish, thanks so much for being on the podcast today. How can people find you?
They can find me by sending an email to info@jobpack.co. That's also the website domain. But thank you so much for having me. It's been really great.
Well, more than happy to have you on. I really appreciate your insights. This is Sean Richards with the Team Engagement Podcast, where leaders of teams share their insights. For more ideas, you can find us on LinkedIn by searching Blue Sky Business Consulting. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.